Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting episode of Speakeasy Cocktails, where I teach you how to make some of the best cocktails that history's forgotten. I'm your host Joe the bartender, and as some of you may already be noticing, summer's here. So today I'm going to teach you all about La Floridita Daiquiri, the daiquiri that started the frozen daiquiri revolution. When most people think of a daiquiri, they think of bananas or strawberries tossed in a blender with tons of umbrellas and large hurricane glasses. But in truth, the daiquiri started off as a much simpler drink. Two Cuban copper miners came up with this cocktail with some of the only things they had in excess: rum, limes, and sugar. They shook the ingredients together to form a refreshing and simple drink. But daiquiris didn't really pick up much traction until the early 1930s when La Florida cocktail bar in Cuba began to serve them. Famously, Ernest Hemingway became a regular at that bar and began requesting the drink frozen with just a hint of grapefruit juice. Many cocktail historians say Ernest Hemingway helped spark the creation of the modern daiquiri by doing so. In 1934, La Florida put out its first ever recipe book containing several daiquiris, including one honoring their favorite guest dubbed the Hemingway Special. The bar had misspelled Hemingway, and they never got it corrected until their second take. The most popular variant, however, became daiquiri number 4, Florida style, which was the only frozen one outside of the Hemingway variant. It also boasted an added hint of maraschino liqueur. All the ingredients blend together beautifully in a way that creates a truly refreshing summer beverage with an almost limeade-like flavor with just a hint of cherries. Unfortunately, this cocktail has a really long and interesting history, and I can't properly do it justice here in the short time I have. So if you're interested in learning more about the daiquiri, check out the link in the description for an in-depth history. So let's give it a go. To make this drink, you're going to need the following things. Rum. Cuban rum is not going to be easy to come by these days. Brugal is a good substitute, but in all honesty, any silver will work just fine, seeing as this is a blended cocktail. A lime. A nice medium-sized lime will do just fine. Sugar. Regular cane sugar is used, but if you don't have any on hand, you can double the quantity and use simple syrup instead. And maraschino liqueur. Unlike the original daiquiri, La Floridita is blended, so go ahead and grab your blender cup and we can start. First up, you want to add 2 ounces of silver rum. The recipe calls for Cuban rum, obviously, but that's not easy to come by these days, so today I'm using Bacardi Silver. Next up, it calls for the juice of half of a lime. Unfortunately, there's a lime shortage right now, so I'm using pre-squeezed. And if you're doing the same, 3/4 of an ounce is about a half a lime. Next up, you need a teaspoon of sugar. Fortunately, a bar spoon is approximately 1 teaspoon, so if you have one on hand, that'll work perfectly. Next up, it also calls for a teaspoon of maraschino liqueur, so go ahead and do that as well. Next up, you want to add just a little bit of ice to make sure that it blends properly, and then you want to pop your top on it and blend it. After that, grab a goblet or a champagne coupe and pour the drink right in. This drink is garnished with a lime and a cocktail cherry, so drop the cherry in and garnish it with a lime. And there you have it, La Floridita Daiquiri. Until next time, I'm your host Joe the bartender, and I'll see you in the speakeasies. It's remarkable, just remarkable.